start the new year off right here. So we're bringing back a couple of the good ones.
Welcome, Collective, to another great episode of Brews and Builds. And this episode could not have been done except by our amazing patrons. Whether you're part of the Collective, Squeeze Choir, BigTucks, Mr. Combo, Storm Count, it doesn't matter. We love you guys and thank you for the support.
God, well, guys, if you would like to help us out financially, help us improve the content, maybe even do net new content, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/CMDTower. We have many different tiers. Literally, guys, for $1 a month, you get a bunch of different benefits and inclusions within our community. But starting at the $5 tier on up, you actually get swag like RK Post exclusive patron tokens, playmats, sleeves, coins, all that good stuff. So please go support CMD Tower. Now, we do have a referral program. So if you're an existing patron and you get someone to join the collective, have them let us know via Patreon and we'll send you some free swag or something just to help thank you for growing the community. Now, if you can't do a monthly program, but you would like to actually pick up some of the merch that we talk about, head over to our store, cmdtower.com/merch. The exciting thing is that we do have our foil Brews and Builds Constellation playmat for sale. They're only $25, white stitched, real thick. It's a real thick boy. Now, we wouldn't be able to do this episode without the glorious Squee McGee. He is our audio editor and is helping out with Brews and Builds for a little bit with our video editor. So Squee does run all of the audio editing at MTG Action 4 News, does run Rich Chaos Records, and just a genuine great guy. He's in the Discord, he loves to troll people, and he does have the deck that shall not be named. So redacted for real, deck. Go follow him on Instagram, Rich Chaos Records. Go follow him on Twitter. And if you need any editing from an audio perspective, hit him up. He'd be happy to help. Now, this video is brought to you by @_tcoats. Tyler does all of our video editing, and he is the one that's actually making YouTube more consumable for the collective. So now instead of these 1.5, 2 hour long YouTube videos, you guys are just getting grains, hops, yeast, spice, bottle capping, short little 10, 15 minute deals, maybe even only 5 minutes. So that way you guys can thoroughly enjoy that YouTube content, consume it in very small fashions, like when you're on the porcelain throne. But of course, the free way to help us out is just share the content you're watching and listening to, because every little bit of interaction from the collective does help. So Brews and Builds is our deck tech series. But since we conquered the path to 32, tackled tons of EDH themes, we're going to be discussing, or rather, theory crafting, a deck that doesn't really exist yet. Each month will consist of new decks, and we correlate how these decks are constructed, similar to how beer is brewed. So we broke it down into 4 different categories. How does your deck actually close out, win the game, or maybe even it just accomplish its weird thing like we're doing today? We call that yeast.
Indeed. And yeast are living microorganisms that eat the sugar from the grain and poop out alcohol and CO2. It adds the alcohol content in the carbonation. Without yeast, you'd be drinking flat sugar water. And without yeast cards, your deck wouldn't meet the goal of actually winning the game.
So today,
we finally got here.
We are doing another theory craft. And of course, it's your boy, Mr. Combo. I'm the one that kind of threw out the idea. And you guys know, I've thrown it out in the Discord. I wanted to build a deck that was just text.deck, or what I call Cinco de lots of text. This is a deck
Five of a lot lot of text?
Well, 5 colors, lots of text.
Okay.
So we're doing Esika, God of the Tree. Now we're going to head over to how we win with the yeast package. So my first one is a bit sweaty from being so it's one of my lower word count cards. It's the 41 count.
Okay, that's a 41. Okay,
it's a powerful card in my opinion, and the only reason I have it in here is because of the prismatic bridge. Like, it would be very easy to cast if I get it off the top with that. So we're talking Lord of the Void.
Oh, sure.
So 41 words coming at, oh wow, $14. Man. 4 colorless, black, 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 creature demon. It's a 7/7, flying. Whenever Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 of that player's library, then put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield under my control. I think we've talked about it. This deck is probably only going to win through combat. That's really what it's going to win through. And so I'm always going to be swinging. It's not like some of my other funny decks where maybe I'm just sitting behind. Like my Game of Thrones, I'll swing potentially, but a lot of times I'll just hold back, set up for the right state. I think this, even if I got small creatures out, I got to be going. And so Lord of the Void I consider a game winner because I am reducing my opponent's card availability by 7 because they get exiled. I'm taking the best potential creature out of that pile. Even if it is just a sack Tribe Elder, they did lose 6 cards from the library. I get the sack Tribe Elder, which allows me to go get a land, and Lord of the Void just dealt 7 to them. So I consider this all upside. It's on curve, 7/7 for 7 with flying and a great effect.
Yeah, definitely. And like having, not for nothing, having a commander that always can tap for 1 is solid, right? Like you're gonna be able to cheat this stuff out at least efficiently. And I think to your point, the flying is also this Demon Lord, maybe some of the other creatures we're gonna be talking about. Having a good form of evasion is gonna be critical on pushing in that damage as soon as it gets out or the turn after, or however it works out.
Totally agree.
Depending on if Raging Ravine's on the battlefield or not, which should be an instant snap keep turn 2.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I bet you there's even an OG copy of Gamble that's like 1 billion words that I could use to tutor it.
Oh god. There you go. Perfect.
All right.
Tuck it away.
Tuck, give us your first yeast.
Okay, so all of my yeast cards, there's a cycle of them that I think all fit the deck. Unfortunately, I checked, and most of them come just under the 40 word count. Just under. But at 37, they're still complicated. So any of the lings out there. And then what I'm talking about is Thornling. But I actually could talk about Morphling, or Ashling, or Aetherling, or Plagueling, or whatever the white one is that F word Ryan, Fat Ryan, should have sold for $90, but I think he still has in a binder ling.
Oh my god.
He got a full version of it. So, but the one that I think is the best out of all of them is Thornling. So 3 colorless and double green for a creature elemental shapeshifter that's a 4/4. It's a mythic, rare mythic from Conflux. It's $2.20. Green. Thornling gains haste till end of turn. Green. Thornling gains trample until end of turn. Green. Thornling gains indestructible until end of turn. 1. It gets +1/+0, +1 -1 until end of turn. 1. It gets -1 +1 until end of turn. I'm pretty sure that there's some, what's that Elder Gargagoth that's just all these abilities on a card you don't have to pay for, right?
Well, and apparently, according to Google, this is 49 words. So,
there
we go.
What? Really? Nice. Nailed it. I knew it.
I knew it.
I knew it would make the cut. I knew it.
So
yeah.
Here's the thing. This is not a yeast card. This is just a funny spice card because it has lots of words.
It's a creature that deals damage. We talked about that's how we're going to win.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is all the issues with the lings is that they get the +1 -1. So the biggest they can get is a 7/1. But then it's a 1 toughness.
That's indestructible and has trample?
Okay, sure. I guess if I'm dumping all of this mana into it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think instead of, to get to that, I'd have to put in 3, 4, 5. So basically for 8 mana, I'm getting a 7/1 indestructible trample for 1 turn. I think for 7 mana, I'd rather have the one of the demons. But
one of the demon
it is
things?
cute for this kind of deck. So it's fine. I'm not going to let you get too high on your horse about it, but
you got 6 options. What more do you want?
Better options?
Better options.
Well, this card has 62 words on it. And the only reason I'm putting it in the deck is because it has 62 words in it. It is a very powerful card. People love it. It gets played in CEDH all the time. People want it banned. But Urza, Lord High Artificer, I'm gonna put in the deck.
Oh my god, there is so much on that card.
Yeah. So this is a card with 62 words. 2 colorless blue legendary creature, human artificer, mythic, 1/4, now $43. Lord.
Yeah.
1/4. Here we have 3 different abilities. So the one that I want to highlight is the 5 colorless, shuffle your library, then exile the top card until end of turn. You may play that card without playing its mana cost. That's really kind of why I think I could justify it in the deck. Being 5 colors and this being 5 colorless makes it way easier to kind of just spin the wheel, see what we get. Now, without putting it down, there are 2 other effects. So when it ETBs, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. I'm not blinking, so I get the 1 and I'm done.
Sure.
Now, here's where this
It's a
could be
blocker.
sneaky good, Tuck. Tap an untapped artifact you control, add a blue. Tanos' Coffin's in the deck. If there's no targets, tap it for a blue. There's lots of artifacts with tons of text that are mediocre. This kind of makes it playable.
Creepy Doll, I'm talking about even more that just have stupid amounts of text for no reason. I completely agree. That's honestly that's what I was going to say too. Is the 5 perfect? Get that going, but maybe, just maybe, we'll have enough to do it for free. The turn it comes out.
Oh, yeah, maybe. And I also kind of look at Urza solves my mana rock issue because, like you mentioned, Tuck, a lot of mana rocks, there's just not a lot of text on them. Like, I think I could do like Mana Vault and Grim Monolith potentially.
The OG I think the original Mana Crypt has a lot of text on it, doesn't it?
And then there's like one, I think maybe original Basalt Monolith might have a fair amount of text. So there's very fringe mana rocks just in a nutshell, guys. Like I can't put an Arcane Signet, I can't do Soul Ring, I can't do any of that stuff. So Urza is kind of like my de facto mana rock in the deck.
Sure.
So yeah. What do you got though for your second game winner?
Okay. I think I have 2 winners here. One is an actual way you can win. And second, I think I have the biggest discrepancy from original printing to errated printing.
Okay.
So I feel like there's not a insignificant chance that when you play this deck, you're going to get beat up on pretty good because you don't have anything on the board besides full text basic lands.
Hey, full text foil basic lands, sir. Let's get it right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So I feel like your life total might take an immediate plummet.
I'm sure it will.
At some point. But for a mere 6 mana, we have a way to turn that boon into a blessing, if you will, when we mirror the universe. Mirror Universe. For $427, this part of the reserved list is a 6-drop artifact listed at rare that has the original text of this. Tap symbol, the T, if you will. Sacrifice Mirror Universe during your upkeep and trade your number of life points with an opponent. For example, if you had 2 life points and your opponent had 10, you would now have 10 life points and your opponent would have 2. Effects that may prevent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this change of life. Pretty wordy.
Wow.
The errata text. Tap, sacrifice Mirror Universe, exchange life totals with the target opponent. Activate only during your upkeep.
Pretty simple.
The way I have it is 57 to 14. A lot. Like a quarter. It's very, very short. So that's what I'm saying is like, I think this card is cute. It is not $427 worth of cute, but for the memes of being like, oh my God, that card looks so complex. And literally all you have to do is just say, yeah, you tap it and then that's it. And it's like, I'm just going to exchange life totals with somebody.
And it's coming in at a cool 61 words. So that's appreciative.
There you go.
I like this. This is funny. I also think this could be cool because I bet the one thing I didn't do is I didn't really look at Planeswalkers, even though they do have lots of text. I really didn't. I almost wonder, like, would Duretti be something in here? If there's a lot of these artifacts that are like sacrificed or when they become untapped, maybe Duretti's one to like, if he has enough words on him, like put him in kind of like Urza. He's my secret deck tech to get artifacts that are genuinely terrible repurposed.
Right. Because I think this isn't, I would say this one isn't horrendous.
No, but for the money, it's horrendous.
Well, yeah. Oh, there's no argument there. But I do like the idea of being able to replay this over and over again. Sack that construct, do it again. You're like, all right, I knocked him out with my demons. Now what's next? You guys want to swing in with me and put me to 1? Go right ahead. Yep. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, and then the other cool thing about it is that if we did find out that like Necropotence, I'm sure it does have enough words, the old copy. It's like, you guys don't want to swing into me. Okay, well, I'm going to spend all of my life down to 1 at your end step. Hey, it's my upkeep. Let's swap life totals.
Yep. I love it. What's your last one? What do you got for us?
Okay. I got panicked because I thought that I got tricked into a fake card again. I didn't. I just spelled this card like the video game. So we're talking
Tekken 4?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Oh, you spelled it with a K?
I did spell it with a K when I typed it into my notes. So this has 44 words encompassing its flavor text. So Mortal Kombat coming in for a little under $5. 2 colorless black enchantment rare. At the beginning of your upkeep, if 20 or more creature cards are in your graveyard, you win the game. The crowd roared, the fighters bled, and the dead piled high in the pits. Only the Cabal could win. So I think this is. I actually think this is my secret how I win the game. This deck's going to have tons of creatures just because I got to fit the meme as best as possible. I think a lot of those creatures are probably going to get killed or have conditions on them. Like I could do the old school dragons where they have that cumulative upkeep of paying the shard.
Right.
Like I could have those in the deck. I even have a Nicol Bolas I could use, and then I'm sure they'll die because I can't pay the stuff all the time. Yep. So I think having 20 or more creature cards in my graveyard will be super easy.
And like to your point as well, like OG Lord of the Pit, where you have to pay life or else you sacrifice it, right? Like that has a gazillion cards in it too. I like that a lot. I think you need to get a proxy of this that is Mortal Kombat with a K and tell people that this is just how it's spelled. Like back in the day in the 90s, Mortal Kombat was really popular. This was popular. You know, like the Wizards had some sort of thing going on. It was the first secret lair ever. The first secret lair card ever printed.
I'll take it to another level. If I actually build this deck, I'll get an actual copy of Mortal Kombat from Torment. I mean, it is under $5. But then I'll send it in to one of the altarists. There's a guy that can actually he actually repairs a lot of the words and stuff when it gets damaged. I bet I could get him to transform that C into a K. And then I'll just play it. It'll be an actual copy, and you won't be able to tell it was altered. And be like, yeah, that's just how you spell it. Well, I don't see that anywhere online. I guess I got like a secret copy from WotC. Someone must have been a big Mortal Kombat fan.
This has to be worth millions of dollars. This is the most expensive card in the deck. It's actually worthless because it's been altered.
Well, Tuck, round us out. What was your last YEAST card?
So this is the opposite of the last. I think this one goes from the fewest, similar scope to Dance of the Dead, a lot of text to even more when it gets errated or Oracle text or whatever. So you play in the Kansas City world, as I remember, we play with a fair amount of people that play pretty good cards.
Sure.
Right? Pretty good decks. And sometimes there's ways that they're going to win that they might tutor. And there's a way that you can turn it back on them when you give them a word to command them to target you with Time Warp. So Word of Command is an old school one, double black instant. It's originally stated as you may look at you may look at opponent's hand, because back then there was no target opponents, and choose any card opponent can legally play using mana from his or her mana pool or lands. Opponents must play this card immediately. You make all the decisions it calls for. This spell may not be countered after you have looked at opponent's hand. So pretty complex. The new version is even more so. Look at target opponent's hand and choose a card from it. You control that player until Word of Command finishes resolving. The player plays that card if able. While doing so, the player can activate mana abilities only if they're from lands that player controls, only if mana they produce is spent to activate other mana abilities of lands the player controls and or to play that card. If the chosen card is cast as a spell, you control the player while that spell is resolving.
What?
Yeah, so pretty much the way I look at this is that if you know someone just tutored up a Comet Storm or a Time Stretch or something like that, you kind of wait for them to tutor. You can then snap it out of their hand, tap their mana down for it, and then either target you or target someone else, right? If they're building up for some big Comet Storm turn, you can snap that out from them, blast your opponents, and then they don't have it anymore. It's kind of sneaky good potentially. I think the only thing that worries me is that we play Commander, so it's all mana rocks and other sort of abilities. And the fact that it's been errated to just lands makes me feel like maybe it's not as good as just a discard spell. But it's very wordy.
So
that's what matters.
The funny thing is that this is also my spice. Totally.
Oh, what?
Here's the thing, man. I'm over here trying to count words. I'm not looking at notes. And honestly, I put this as a spice because I looked at it and I was like, I don't know how to play this. I don't even know if you're good. You look creepy because it's just like someone creeping on you from
just two
the
eyes,
dark.
right?
Yeah. It's a piece of Magic history that would cost me a cool $400. So I'm here for all of that stuff. It's just I don't know. I'm Jon Snow. I don't want it.
I don't know. I also like how a lot of these cards, like Time Twister, they've had new art and stuff. And this one's it's online and a new Masters, same art. Same weird black like eyes in the distance.
I wonder if it had to be something with like maybe the original artist, like Jesper Mifros. I mean, obviously it was an artist way back in the day.
Right.
You know, and Magic was, young. Maybe they had to, maybe he was a big artist and it was like, hey, I get an exclusive thing. Like my art will never, or my card will never be done for. So I don't know. Maybe it was some weird thing. We might have to ask good old Vorthos Mike about that.
Very interesting here as well. He did several dual lands, but more importantly, I think he did the art on the Efreet that was misprinted to blue.
Oh, okay.
I think that was him as well.
Oh, God. He did an Elves of Deep Shadow that looks like the lead singer of Evanescence.
Bring me to John. Like, bring me to life. You know what I mean? It's kind of close, right?
All right.
I'm glad you like that one too. I'm exhausted.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap up the yeast package.
Bye.